Okay, we're live.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 11th Rucksack evening, this time in a very special place in Turkey. And it's organized together with 3 Turkish groups, the Open Poetry Movement, the Jazz Cat Review, and Pikara, the Woman in Action Review. So this is very special. We have lots of guests from all over the world and lots of new Turkish poets. So I want to thank Erkut Tokman very much for this invitation and for organizing all this Turkish part. And I want to thank Don Krieger very much for the technical support. He is organizing all these things. Without him, this wouldn't be possible. Okay, I pass the word to Erkut so he can say hello to you in Turkish.
Yes, we are very glad to be part of Rucksack poetry event. So 3 organizations from Turkey organized with this event with poetry is my passion. So here tonight, for the first time, we are organizing the Turkey event for Rucksack, and we will listen all together various Turkish poets from our organizations and also from the different countries. So everybody welcome, and I would like to first introduce to public to our organizations. Perhaps you can start with in English, Antje, then I continue with Turkish.
Okay, I will present the different organizations. So we have the Open Poetry Movement, which is an avant-garde and interdisciplinary movement that was founded in 2018 in Izmir, where we are now having this meeting, by Erkut Tokman, Erkan, Karakiraz, Neslihan, Yalman, and Altay, Ömer, Erdoğan. Excuse me the pronunciation, but 3 of these founders we have this evening with a reading. It's an innovative, they are advocating an innovative understanding of poetry in performance and the transition from action to writing, opposed to the traditional way. So the movement also published a manifesto, and the concept is using open space and environmental factors and public participation as improvisation. The movement includes several international artists and writers from different disciplines and has performed many performances in Turkey and other countries. The other group, which is participating in this evening, is Jazz Cat Review. It's a poetry, cultural literary magazine, which first appeared in Izmir Book Fair in 2015. Since then, they published more every 3 months, and this month they reached the 25th issue. They started as a magazine with several writers and poets who had similar aesthetic concerns, came together and made an effort to contribute to the creation of a poetry culture. So we feel all this new coming, the will to do something new in these groups. The third group is Pikara, Women in Action, is a formative literary review, which is dominantly opens the pages to women, especially in this very difficult situation in Turkey in the last years. It was inspired by Neslihan Yalman's poem called Kadın Harekati, Woman in Action. The review has shaped up with the steps of women movement in the world and the latest current situation of women in Turkey. And it is an interdisciplinary platform. So I pass the word to Erkut so he can translate this in Turkish.
Evet, şimdi organizasyonu yapan Türkiye'den 3 grup var. Bunları Tabii aramızda Türk dostlarımız da var. Onlar için bir tanıtım yapacağım. Açık Şiir Hareketi. Açık Şiir Hareketi 2018 yılında İzmir'de Erkut Tokman, Erkan Karakiraz, Neslihan Yalman ve Altay Ömer Erdoğan tarafından kurulmuş. Yenilikçi bir anlayışla şiirde performans anlayışını gelenekselin aksine eylemden yazıya geçiş olarak savunan avantgard ve disiplin arası bir hareket. Kurulduğu yıl manifestosunu da yayınlayan hareket, açık mekan kullanımı, çevresel etmenler ve doğaçlama olarak halkın katılımına açıklık gibi anlayışları benimsedi. Çeşitli ülkelerden pek çok farklı disiplinlerden uluslararası sanatçı ve yazarların üyeleri arasında da bulunduğu hareket bugüne kadar ağırlıklı olarak Türkiye olmak üzere başka ülkelerde de değişik mekanlarda pek çok performans gerçekleştirdi. Kolektif şiir, ses şiiri, konser performans, film gibi çeşitli projeler hayata geçirdi. Festivallere ve uluslararası etkinliklere katıldı. İkinci grubumuz Caz Kedisi dergisi. Caz Kedisi Şiir ve Şiir Kültürü dergisi ilk olarak 2015 Nisan'ında İzmir Kitap Fuarı'nda okur karşısına çıktı. O zamandan bu yana 3 aylık olarak yayınlanan derginin bu ay 25. sayısı yayınlanacak. Benzer estetik kaygıları taşıyan birkaç yazar şairin bir araya gelerek bir şiir kültürü oluşturmasına katkı sağlama gayreti içerisine girdiği bir dergi olarak başladı. Caz Kedisi şiir, mektup, anı, günlük notları, şairleri ve şiir anlayışlarını ele alan yazı dizileri, incelemeler, eleştiriler, eleştirel içeriğe sahip söyleşiler, denemeler, öyküler, sinema ile müzik yazıları ve onlara eşlik eden illüstrasyonlar yayınlamaktadır. Matbu bir dergi olan Caz Kedisi, dağıtım problemleri ve pandeminin hız kazanmasıyla birlikte 21. sayıdan başlayarak e-dergi olarak hayatına devam etti. Ancak matbu olarak da yayınlanmaya devam ediyor. Pikara Kadın Harekatı dergisi. Pikara Kadın Harekatı dergisi Neslihan Yalman'ın Kadın Harekatı adlı şiirinden sıçranılarak oluşturulmuş kadın ağırlıklı performatif bir dergidir. Dergi hem dünyadaki kadın hareketlerine hem de Türkiye'de yaşanan gelişmelere dair bir itkiyle oluşturulmuş disiplinler arası bir platformdur. Dergi ulusal ve uluslararası düzlemde birçok sanatçıya ve düşünüre yer verdiği gibi performatif anlamda ağırlıkla kadın olan bir kitleye de hitap etmekte, kimi yerde onlarla da aktif şekilde buluşmaktadır. Hareketin yetmediği yerde harekatın geliştirildiği karşı tepkisel özgürlük alanına doğru estetik bir yola çıkmıştır. Evet. Thank you, Antje. So, I think you will carry on with Rucksack to represent us.
Thank you very much. And now I will explain a little bit what is this Rucksack project for the ones who don't know about it. So Rucksack, a global poetry patchwork, is an international poetic artistic installation. It's created during the pandemic and inaugurated last September and still on display on the Piccolo Museo Chiesa di San Cristoforo in Piacenza, Italy. It is a large backpack made of dry tea bags collected by the more than 250 poets participants from all over the world who also sent their poems. So it is, here you can see on the picture how it looks like in this museum. It is this big rucksack, which is made of all single tea bags that come from all different parts of the world. And the nice thing is, maybe you have a tea bag from Iceland just on the side of a tea bag from India. And this idea of closeness during the pandemic was a very freeing idea, deliberating. And in the background, you can see parts of the poems that are exposed all over this church, because the museum is in an old church. And this installation had a great success in the public. And among the poets, there are some very prominent poets, even candidates for the Nobel Prize, and poets that live the poetry hidden, in a hidden way, like a second life. Maybe some even wrote the first poem for this installation. So we have It's an open project. We have really people from very different backgrounds. There are people that write in the African savanna and others in the heights of the Andes. The red thread is made by the tea leaves and all the cultural and historical relationship that this ritual has created over the centuries. The funny thing is that in this moment of separation, this installation somehow shows the opposite. We all speak different languages, and we could say we live in a Tower of Babel, but this is the Tower of Babel upside down, because we started interconnecting to each other. We started talking to each other. We started organizing together, and we have a very big networking going on. And I'm so happy because we were in Mexico, we were in New York, we were in India, we were in Africa, North Africa. So we had really traveled around the world like one did at the time when you could go with a rucksack from one place to the other. So I pass the word to Erkut so he can translate into Turkish.
Yes. Evet, şimdi size biraz Rucksack hareketinden bahsedeceğim. Global Rucksack Poetry Patchwork. Rucksack, Almancası sırt çantası, artistik, şiirsel bir hareket olup Antje Stehn tarafından oluşturulmuş ve Poetry is My Passion tarafından tanıtımı yapılmıştır. Bütün dünyadan şairlerin gönderdiği sallama çaylarla, tea bags ve şiirlerle tek ve büyük bir sivil kucaklaşma isteğini paylaşan hareket büyük bir sırt çantasıdır aslında. 6 ay önce Piacenza'daki San Cristoforo Kilisesi'nde açılan Il Piccolo Museo della Poesia, Küçük Şiir Müzesi, bu şiirler ve sallama çaylardan oluşan sergiyle kapılarını açtı. Sergi hala devam ediyor. İzolasyon ve yasakların olduğu bu dönemde Rucksack, 58 ülkede 250'den fazla şairin katılımıyla olabildiğince çok dilde sanata, şiire ve sivil dayanışmaya nefes vermek adına minnettarız ki dünyayı dolaştı. Şairlerin sesinden inanılmaz bir yolculuk ortaya çıkmış. İzlanda'dan Antlara, Afrika'nın savanlarına kadar bu ses ulaşmıştır. Çay yaprakları yapılan kırmızı bağ, bütün bu kültürler, tarihi, coğrafi, yüzyılları aşan bir ritüeli yarattı sözcükler arasında. Ve tabii sizleri de bugün buraya katılan bütün herkesi bu şairler karavanına davet ediyor. Birlikte yürüyelim ve omuzlarınıza asılı sırt çantası ile hadi gidelim diyor. Dolayısıyla sonda da zaten Antje açıklama yapacak. Yes, Antje, so I finished the Turkish translation and I think we can start tonight listen our wonderful poets. No?
Yes, so let's start our reading session, and we start in the east with our Pankhuri Sinha from India. She is a bilingual young poet and story writer from India. She has 2 poems published in English, 2 collections of stories published in Hindi, and 5 collections of poetries published in Hindi, and many more are lined up. She has published in many journals, anthologies.
A voice is gone. Antje, your voice gone. Your voice gone, yes.
I don't know when it was gone. She has won lots of prizes and has been translated in more than 22 languages. Her writing is dominated by themes of exile, immigration, gender equality, and environmental concerns. After doing her BA from Delhi University, she did her master's in history from sunny Buffalo and has an unfinished PhD from the University of Calgary in Canada. Okay, I would say we introduce her in Turkish and then we will listen to her poems.
Yes, Pankhuri Sinha, 2 dilde yazan genç şair ve öykü yazarı, İngilizce olarak yayımlanan 2 şiir kitabı, Hintçe olarak ise 2 öykü, 5 de şiir kitabı vardır ve daha pek çoğu yayın sırasını beklemektedir. Eserleri yurt içi ve yurt dışında dergilerde, antolojilerde yayınlanmıştır. Birçok prestijli, ulusal ve uluslararası ödül kazanmış, eserleri 22'den fazla dile çevrilmiştir. Yazılarında sürgün, göç, cinsiyet eşitliği ve çevresel kaygılar gibi konular hakimdir. Delhi Üniversitesi'nde lisans ve Simbiosis Pune'da gazetecilik yüksek lisans öğrenimini tamamladıktan sonra Sunny Buffalo'da tarih alanında yüksek lisans yapmıştır. Kanada Calgary Üniversitesi'nde doktorasına devam etmektedir. Gazeteci, öğretim görevlisi ve içerik editörü olarak çeşitli mevkilerde çalışmıştır.
Okay, Pankhuri, please. The word is to you, and we are curious to listen.
Thank you so very much. This is my first time, and I'm so honored and delighted. And I was told that today is also a birthday party for Erkut, so birthday wishes. Very happy birthday. I don't know when his birthday is. Is it today itself, or is it on another day?
Yeah, it's going on later. Okay.
Happy birthday in advance, and thank you so much for that generous introduction, and such an honor to be introduced in Turkish as well. I want to read a few poems. Actually, I was prepared to read just one. So let me know how many.
Yeah, since we are a lot of poets and we have some honored poets, please, everybody reads just one poem, okay?
Yes, and that is what I was also prepared for, and I'm very happy to share. I'll just start my poem. I'm very happy to share that the poem that I had sent you, I had also sent you for this award, for this contest in Italy, and I got a second prize. So that was really very nice and happy thing to share. It's from my 4th collection. It's called Osil Subhe, meaning the mornings that are soaked in dew. So it's called Kavita Ka Naksha. I'll first read in Hindi and then the translation in English. Kavita Ka Naksha. कविता का अपना एक रोमान तो होता ही है, अपना एक नक्शा भी होता है। वह जाने किन पहाड़ों पठारों से होती हुई लांघती सारी राजनैतिक सीमाएं, अक्सर किसी नदी नहीं तो सूख रहे या भर दिए जा रहे जलाशय पर आ टिकती है। नदियों के तलछट का भी अपना एक रोना है, उसमें नदियों का होना तो है पर बहुत कुछ का खोना भी, और इस रुदन में अपना एक कंपन होता है, कारण और वजूद भी, और इस तरह एक पूरा नक्शा होता है कविता का। और अचानक तात्कालिक शहर के नक्शे के उस पर उतारे जाने से रूट कर जंगलों में चली जाती है कविता। And now the English translation done by me only. The map of poetry. Poetry almost always has a romantic element, also has a map. Passing through strange, innumerable mountains, plateaus, crossing boundaries politically created. It often comes to sit by a river drying up, or a pond being filled. There is a separate cry about the riverbed, in which the river is inevitably present. But so is the loss of so much beauty around. And this cry, this dream, has its own vibrations, reasons, and persona, and thus comes into being a neat map of poetry. And behold, with a sudden imposition of towns dilapidating like my own, poetry is sulking away, walking calmly into the tranquility of the forests.
Thank you very much, Pankhuri. Thank you very much. Now Erkut will read the translation. I wanted to say Erkut did a big work translating all the poems into Turkish. So
yeah, but I didn't. We did just explain you to our guests. We have a team of translation. So we made the whole translation together with Erkan, Karakiraz, and Ruhsan, İskifoğlu. So Pankhuri poem translated by Erkan Karakiraz. So he will read now your poem in Turkish. Please, Erkan.
All right, then. I've translated Pankhuri's poem. I will read it in Turkish. Neredeyse hep romantik bir esası var şiirin. Bir de haritası. Sayısız yaban dağları aşan, yaylaları, siyasetin yarattığı sınırları geçen. Çoğu kez kurumuş bir nehir kıyısına tüner yahut doldurulan bir göletin. Ayrı bir feryadı barındırır nehir yatağı. Nehrin kaçınılmazca bulunduğu. Oysa etraftaki bunca güzelliğin kaybı da orada. Ve bu feryadın, bu çığlığın kendi titreşimleri var. Sebepleri ve şahsiyeti. Nitekim düzgün bir şiir haritası halini alır. Ve bak, aniden harap olan şehirlerin dayatılmasıyla benimkine benzeyen bir şiir somurtarak uzaklaşıyor. Ormanların sükunetine doğru sakince yürüyerek.
Teşekkürler Erkan.
Thank you, Erkan.
I thank you for your poetry. It's a very good poem, I think.
Yeah, thank you very much. So now we go to the second poet. He's from Turkey, and his name is Halim Yazıcı. I hope I pronounce it well. He was among the founders of the magazine Küfret and the magazine Akropal, Yamak, and Ulan Gazetesi, published in Izmir. He published his first poetry and review articles in different magazines. I don't repeat the names, it's too difficult for me. He is a founder and editor-in-chief of Gazetesi's jazz journal of poetry and poetry culture. He worked with musicians and in the field of improvisation and jazz poetry, and performed at many festivals with these different poets and artists. Okay, Erkut, could you translate?
Yes. İkinci konuğumuz İzmir'den değerli şairimiz Halim Yazıcı. 1954 yılında Bergama'da, İzmir'de doğdu. Geçmişte aralarında Akropol, Körfez ve Yamaç da dahil olmak üzere pek çok dergi yayını hazırladı ve halen Cazketis dergisinin kurucusu ve baş editörü. Sarp Keskinler, Taci Uslu da dahil olmak üzere pek çok müzisyenle çalıştı. Çeşitli sanatçılarla doğaçlama ve caz şiiri üstüne performanslar yaparak pek çok festivale katıldı. İzmir Konak Belediyesi Kültür Direktörlüğü, İzmir Büyükşehir Belediyesi Kültür Direktörlüğü de dahil olmak üzere çeşitli belediyelerde kültür direktörlüğünde çalıştı. En sonuncusu 2021'de Kloros'tan çıkan toplu şiirleri de dahil 15 şiir kitabı olan şair pek çok şiir ödülüne layık görüldü. Antje.
Yes, you can read your. No, I read it first in English, but I don't know which one of the both. Love is Jazz. Yes.
Yes, Love is Jazz. Right. Love
yeah,
is
that's
jazz.
wonderful because you really feel the feeling of jazz. And today we have a jazz musician with us, Betty Gilmore. She is a blues singer. So
I think she'll love it.
Yes, me too. I love this poem. When your sweat mingles with mine, it clings with a synchronous voice. Tenor sax became a victory song. Then, with the pearl tongue of black people, with southern symbols, hemisphere of the world, tenor sax becomes a victory song. When your melancholy mingles with mine, it starts beating in my poems. Tenor sax become a victory song. The forever lifeless blowing of the flute gets stronger on the hands of blacks. Tenor sax become a victory song. On the day when your freedom feeds mine on top of a red mountain, tenor sax become a victory song. Thank you very much. So now we listen to it in Turkish. Halim.
Thank you for everything. Hello from Turkey. Hello from my heart. Aşk cazdır. Terimin terine bulaştığı gün, başlar tınlamaya senkron sesiyle. Bir zafer şarkısıdır tenor saks. Arkasından inci dilleriyle zencilerin, hayatın yarım küresi güney zilleriyle bir zafer şarkısıdır tenor saks. Hüznün hüznüme bulaştığı gün, başlar atmaya nabzında şiirimin bir zafer şarkısıdır tenor saks. O yıllardır ölgün akan fısıltısı flütün, çoğalır nasılsa zenci elleriyle sevinci. Bir zafer şarkısıdır tenor saks. Özgürlüğün özgürlüğümü çoğalttığı gün, bütün nehirleri birleşir dünyanın. Bir zafer şarkısıdır tenor saks.
Wonderful, wonderful. This is wonderful.
Yeah, it sounds so beautiful in Turkish.
The music comes through in English also. It's wonderful.
Yes, it's a musical poem. Thank you very much, Halim.
For everything, thank you.
Yes. So now we make a big jump to the United States and we welcome Gloria Mindock. Gloria is the author of many books, widely published in the USA and abroad. And her latest book is called Ash. It's edited by Glasslyre Press, and it's very impressive. Other titles are I Wish Francisco Franco Would Love Me, published by the Nick Smate Books. Her poetry has been translated and published into 11 languages. Gloria is an editor herself of the Cervena Barra Press, and she was a post laureate in Somerville in 2017 and 2018. The word to you, Gloria.
Thank you so much, Antje, and thank you to Erkut and Don and everyone for being here. This poem is called Disaster. I suffer many woes, not serene, but impossible, always on the edge, crashing into you, plunging with force for your heart to welcome my disaster. My life floats in fragments. I try to grab them. You, absent, me, surrendering to my fate. No tears, only clouds breezing by, chauffeuring me away, where I dream of you, lips quivering for a moment in the past. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very strong poem.
Now I represent in Turkish. Gloria Mindock, Ash, Kül, Glasslyre yayınları. I Wish Francisco Franco Would Love Me, Nick Smate Books. Francisco Franco'nun beni sevmesini dilerdim. Witness of Bone, Kemiğin Tanıklığı, Glasslyre yayınları yine kitaplarının sahibidir. La Portsile Raulia adlı kitabı Flavio Cosma tarafından Romence'ye çevrildi. Nothing Divine Here, Hiçbir Şey Kutsal Değil Burada adlı kitabı yine Usoku Stampa, Bulut Soğuk Dress, Kana Bulaşmış Elbise, Ibetson Sempres Karadağ'da yayınlandı. Amerika'da ve dışında pek çok eserleri yayınlanan şair 11 dile çevrildi. Çervana Barva yayınlarında editör ve 2017-2018 Somerville Master programının ödüllü şairi. Evet, şu anda onun şiirini tercüme edeceğim. Tercüme ettiğim şiirini okuyacağım daha doğrusu. Evet. Felaket. Pek çok dertten muzdaribim. Sakinlik değil, imkansızlık. Her zaman sınırda. Sana çarpıyor. Kuvvetle dalarak, kalbine su serpmek için benim felaketim. Yaşamın parçaları bölünmüş, yüzer. Onları elimde tutmayı denerim. Sense kayıp. Ben kaderime teslim. Gözyaşı yok. Sadece bulutlar esintili. Beni uzaklara sürüklüyor. Seni hayal ettiğim yere. Titreyen dudaklar. Sadece bir an geçmişte. Thank you. Beautiful.
Thank you very much, Erkut. Thank you very much, Gloria, for this very strong poem. And now we go to the next poet. He is from Turkey again. And it's Altay Ömer Erdoğan. He was born in Gallipoli in the 70s. And he published poems, essays, stories in many literary magazines. And he published 3 poetry books. His stories were published in different magazines. I don't say the names because nobody outside Turkey knows these names. He appeared in daily newspapers, and he still lives in Sirna, in bosom of the Imbat, which is a local wind in Sirna, and he feeds the gulls with grevrek, which is a savory roll covered with sesame seeds, a very typical Turkish food. Okay, will you introduce him, please, Erkut?
Yes, of course. Altay Ömer Erdoğan. Aramızda. Hoş geldin Altay. 1970 yılında Gelibolu'da doğdu. Küçük yaşta babasını kaybetti. Çocukluk yılları Keşan'da geçti. İlkokulu burada bitirdi. 1981 yılında babası ölmüş, çocukların okulu Darüşşafaka Lisesi'ne girdi. 1988'de mezun oldu. İzmir 9 Eylül Üniversitesi ve Ege Üniversitesi'nde eğitim gördü. Dergilerde şiir, yazı, öykü yayımlayarak edebiyata bağlanmaya çalıştı. 3 şiir kitabı yayınlandı. Kent Düellosu 1996, Taşra Baskısı 2003, Kan Gölü'nü gördü 2007. Öyküleri İnsancıl Adam Öykü, Natos ve Varlık dergilerinde yayınlandı. Günlük gazetelerde yazılarıyla yer aldı. Hala İmbat'ın kucağında İzmir'de hayatını sürdürüyor ve martılara gevrek simit atmayı ihmal etmiyor. Hoş geldin.
Yes, I would say Altan reads it first in Turkish and then I the English version, so I can hear how he interprets his own poem.
Yes.
I have to say hello to everyone. A nice evening here and wish to be nice on everywhere. I'm really glad to join Rucksack poetry event and have to say that as said, poetry is what is lost in translation, but I have to say and add that poetry is what is lost in translation, but can be found by heart. This evening, we are seeking it with our hearts, and I am very glad for this meeting. And Türkiye'de söyleyeyim, bütün arkadaşlara iyi akşamlar diliyorum. Bu akşam çok anlamlı bir iz üzerinde olduğumuzu, belki de çeviride yiten sözcüklerin aşkla peşinde olduğumuzu ve bu aşkı bu gece birlikte paylaşarak kalplerimizi ortaya koyduğumuzu söylüyorum ve ben de herkese teşekkür ediyorum. Şiir, eski marangozluklar. Kimiz ki biz karanlıkta? Duvar, gölgelerimizi uzatmıyor sevgili. Ayrılık, şarap gibi yıllanıyor, yollarımız ile kollarımız arasında. Nakaratlara bağlamışız sabrımızı. Ölümlü olan her şey sevimli de. Nedense biz sevemiyoruz hayatı. Bir dengesi yok. Tuttuğumuz ama tutunamadığımız fazlalıkların. Eksik olan bir dokunuş belki de. Ya da biz eskiyiz kendimize. Yeni bir dünya, yeni bir yapı. Ah, nerede o eski marangozluklar? Nerede Nirvana'ya açılan kapı? Thanks for everything.
Okay, I will read the translation. 41.
No, Antje, please. This is old carpentry. Yes, old carpentry poem.
What?
It's an old carpentry poem, other poem.
Oh, I don't have it.
Okay, please go for 41. That's fine.
Then I read 41. Life has flourished in the pit of dormant tongues. It will break itself from the spell of the age, telling the silence that circles the town bazaars. We will be yearning, look and open a window now, both the crowd and half-length songs. People start love from eyes. People start talking about love, doing other things. Forget themselves, forgetting excesses. Life is not one, but more than one eye. Hold someone's hand, and I think would make happy the empty pages. Let us stay as blank pages to each other. We knock the doors like most naughty kids, escape out own shadows, read 1,000 books for beautiful promised lover. 3 letters back, I'm a stranger loser myself, finding the muse fly. My eyes were very tired to start, to stagnation, to finish, stern silence. I'm making my puppets disappear from space between us. The gap is here. It has added a touch of amenity to our patience. Let us live in quotes, a silence, a strange and meaningful thing. Tell a lot of things, yours in me, mine in yours, the rest of our unsatisfaction. Read 40 times in a poetic story. Thank you, Altan.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so we had 2 different poems. Now we go to Serbia, to Iskra Peneva. She lives in Belgrade and is a graduate of the Faculty of Mathematics of the University of Belgrade. It's always very interesting when mathematics do poetry. She has published poetry in national and foreign daily and literary magazines. Her work has been translated into 15 different languages and has appeared in anthologies of Serbia, Macedonia literature. Her most recent poetry collection, Somewhere in Between, received the International Award for the Best Poetry Book in the Macedonian language at the 55th Struga Poetry Evenings in Macedonia in 2016. In 2020, she won the award of the Best Foreign Author by the publishing house Volturnia in Italy. Iskra, please.
Hello. Greetings from Belgrade. I'm very honored to be part of this Rucksack poetry evening. So now I will read my poem in Serbian. Odlazak želja. Živim na železničkoj stanici. Sa svakim polaskom voza jedna moja želja otputuje u svet. U nekom novom gradu, na nekoj stanici izlazi. Leti nad građevinama, pod oblacima osmatra i raste. A kada dovoljno naraste, ispuni se jedna želja daleko od nebe. And now I will read the same poem in English. Wishes leaving. I live at a railroad station. With each train departure, one of my wishes travels out into the world. In a new town, at a station, it gets off, flies above the buildings under the clouds, observes and grows. And when it grows big enough, one wish came true, far away from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Iskra. Erkut, excuse me, I forgot to.
No problem. It's on me. Iskra Peneva, Belgrad'da, Sırbistan'da doğdu. Matematik mezunudur. Yerli ve yabancı günlük ve edebiyat dergilerinde şiirleri yayınlanmış. Sırp ve Makedon edebiyat antolojilerinde yer almıştır. Eserleri 15 farklı dile çevrilmiştir. Birçok ödül ve takdir kazanan Iskra'nın en son şiir kitabı Somewhere in Between, arada bir yerlerde, 2016 yılında 55. Struga Şiir Akşamlarında Makedon dilinde uluslararası en iyi şiir kitabı ödülünü almıştır. 2018'de yayınlanmış şiir dosyası ile Hırvatistan'ın uluslararası ödülünü kazanmıştır. 2019'da Makedonya'da Makedon ve Sırp Edebiyatı Çeviri ve Dikkate Değer Ödülü Lingva'yı kazanmış ve 2020'de İtalya'da Volturnia Edisyon Yayınevi tarafından en iyi yabancı yazar ödülünü almıştır. Makedoncadan Sırpçaya ve Sırpçadan da Makedonca'ya çeviriler yapmaktadır. Sırp Yazarlar Derneği ve Sırp Gazeteciler Derneği üyesidir. Iskra Peneva poem translated by Erkan Karakiraz, so he will read us in Turkish. Please, Erkan.
Evet, ben önce bir Türkçe şöyle bir şey söylemek istiyorum. İskra'nın şiirini Sırpça duymak çok heyecanlandırdı beni. Hearing Iskra's poetry in Serbian thrilled me. It's very hard to explain for me to. Yes, I will read the Turkish version of the poem. It is called Yola Koyulan Dilekler. Yaşadığım yer tren istasyonu. Her trenin yola koyuluşuyla dünyayı gezer dileklerimin biri. Yeni bir şehirde, bir istasyonda iner trenden. Binaların üzerinde süzülür. Bulutların altında gözlemler ve büyür. Yeterince büyüdüğünde bir dilek gerçekleşir. Benden çok uzaklarda. Thanks for your poetry, Iskra.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this translation, and thank you very much, Iskra, for being with us.
Thank you for
sharing this very nice poem.
Yeah, thank you for the translation. I have always dreamed to hear my poems in Turkish. So this evening is, let's say, that one of my wishes came true.
Great.
It's my pleasure. I thank you.
Very good. So now we go to Turkey, and we have Neslihan Yalman. She was born in 82 in Ankara and received a Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees from the University of Dokuz Öklül, and she was graduated as from the Department of Dramatic Writing. She worked as an editor and as a ghostwriter. She wrote a column in Haber3.com, and she currently teaches in the Art Academy in Izmir. Her poetry and essays have been published in many journals. She has been invited to many festivals in Turkey and abroad. Her books have very interesting titles like Where You Can Turkey, Where You Can't Live, But You Can't Leave. Or another title, this is from 2013. Another title is State of Injury, 2013, and But Riakel from 2014. Her script, The Tenth Village, has been filmed, and her theater play, Tent of Those Who Cannot, called into life, was published also. So Erkut, could you introduce her in Turkish?
Sure. Neslihan Yalman, hoş geldin. Neslihan Yalman 1982 yılında Ankara'da doğdu. 9 Eylül Üniversitesi Güzel Sanatlar Fakültesi Dramatik Yazarlık bölümünü birincilikle bitirdi. Gazi Üniversitesi Sosyal Bilimler Enstitüsü Türk Halk Bilimi Anabilim dalında yüksek lisans yaptı. Editör, redaktör, metin yazarı olarak çalıştı. Haber3.com'da Aykırı Akademi ve Tiyatro dergisinin sitesinde köşe yazarlığı yaptı. Şu an Art Akademi İzmir adlı sanat merkezine dersler vermektedir. Birçok dergide şiirleri ve denemeleri yer almıştır. Türkiye'de ve yurt dışında birçok festivale davet edilmiştir. Şu anda da Pikara Kadın Harekatı dergisini çıkarıyor. Hepimiz biliyoruz. Türkiye ne yaşanabilir, ne terk edilebilir? 2013. İncinme Halleri gene 2013. Ama Erkil 2014. Tunç Gammaz 2015 ve Anglo-Sakso 2019 kitapları. Evet Neslihan.
Beni duyuyor musunuz? Are you hearing to me?
Şu anda kapalı. Ha, okay.
Are you hearing to me?
Yeah, maybe you come a little bit closer to the screen.
It's okay?
Yes.
Yes, now it's okay.
I thank you for the special inviting. I'm impressed that the church includes the poems. It's important to me because I think that this movement to voice of the essence. It's so
You're making a.
Are you hearing me?
Let me interrupt for a moment. Neslihan, it sounds like you have two microphones on. Do you have
Two microphones.
if you could disconnect just mute one of the microphones.
Kapalı zaten.
It's okay.
Can you hear us?
No, you're muted. You
Unmute yourself, please.
okay.
Yes, perfect.
It's okay. Okay. Sorry. Can you hear to my introduction or? Okay. Thanks to special invitings. I try to read my Turkish poem. So thanks. Şapkasında ölü tavşanlar Tanrı'nın. Açık yaralardan enfeksiyon kapıyor sürekli yürek. Bir kadın yastığını ıslattığında evinden cenaze çıkmış kadar üzülür cevabını verdi nazik bir adam. O gün gördüm cenaze olmanın karanlığını. Serçenin sessiz bedenine uzandığı gün Virginia, ben de bir serçeyi gömdüm otobüs durağının arkasına. Kıştı, kuş gribiydi, üşümekti, ne meneşeydi. Bir gündü, toprağa dokunmanın yasak olduğu. Dokundum rutinine saatlerin durdum. Bağır taşı zamanı kırdı. Masal değil, bu bir gerçek. Felçli babalar, öfkeli anneler diyarında Alice sağlıyordu Pollyanna'da. Siz güçlü kahramansınız, yapmayın dedim. Bana mezarlarını gösterdiler, göğüslerini yırtıp. Yağmur yağmazsa kim sulayacak umutlu bebe çiçeklerini? Bugün de gördüm bir cenaze olmanın karanlığını. Girdi koluma, ne olur kızma bana derken Azrail. Hazır bir reçete tutuştururken soğuktan buruşmuş elime. Yok ki hiçbir gidişin debdebeli dönüşü. Öğren, işe yaramamaya yarar ancak şu hayat.
Thank you very much.
You are welcome.
I will read
thank you.
the English version of Malena. I don't know if you read Malena in Turkish.
No. I read the other part.
Yeah, I have just Malena here, so I have to read Malena.
Okay.
Which is a very nice poem. Huh? Malena, grabbing my ideas by hair, they will drag towards their ideas. Crucify also my breast, without breastfeeding, since I gave them to your empty hands. You will not reach out to me when you call, the same moment like a Satan stoned, and I will be taken to the court of hell, founded on earth. You will forget my voice, my body, and my all. Sooner than 40 days, you are going to have strength, neither writing letter nor keeping up with the times. You are going to fall asleep in the bosom of another woman. Nobody will understand me and you. In the world where making love is thought to be a sin and selfhood is death, pointed choices in ourselves, we will already be missed the time to take shelter. Thank you very much, Neslihan, for sharing
Thank you.
the other poem and 2 poems.
Thank you, Angie. I'm impressed that my poem comes your special voice, your mystical voice.
Thank you very much. Good. So now we go to Greece, to Eva Petropoylou Lianoy. Oh, excuse the pronunciation. She has published many books and ebooks. The most recent one is The Adventure of Samurai Noga's Son in English by the publishing house On Time Books based in England. She collaborates with the literary magazine The Poet magazine, and she is part of the International Literary Union based in America and promotes Greek literature and poetry. Eva is a member of the association Ali Mundi Serbia and the International Society of Writers and Artists of Greece, and the Piraeus Society of Letters and Art, as well as the Corinthian Writers Society. Erkut, could you translate?
Sure. Eva, welcome to our event. Eva Petropoylou Lianoy Rize'de doğdu. Çok sayıda kitap ve e-kitap yayınlamıştır. En son kitabı İngiltere merkezli On Time Books yayın evi tarafından yayınlanan Samurai Noga's Son'ın maceralarıdır. The Poet Edebiyat Dergisi'yle işbirliği yapmaktadır. Amerika merkezli Uluslararası Edebiyat Birliği'nin bir parçasıdır. Yunan edebiyatı ve şiirini temsil edip teşvik etmektedir. Eva, Sırbistan Aliamundi Derneği, Yunanistan Uluslararası Yazarlar ve Sanatçılar Derneği ve Pire Edebiyat ve Sanat Derneği, Korint Yazarlar Derneği üyesidir.
Okay,
Yes,
Eva, could you
Eva,
please
so we can hear your...
in Greece and in Greek and in English?
Merhaba from Greece. Hello.
Merhaba.
Hello, Erkut. Hello, Antje. I'm very honored. I'm excited. I'm very happy to be with you. And first, I want to give a little gift to Erkut. I want to sing the birthday song like the great actress. Now I forget her name. I'm sorry. She sung that for the president. Antje, you must know her. She's very Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah.
So happy birthday, Erkut. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear a little gift.
Thank you so much. You are so kind, so kind. Thank you so much, Eva.
All the best to you. I hope everyone will be safe, happy, and we are going to continue to do Zoom meetings and after out meetings of poetry, festival events. For me, poetry is a gift from God. It's a way to show the peace. It's a way of life. And I continue to write now for almost 1.5 years, although I'm in the poetry since 2015. I want to read my poem only in English. It's called Anne, Mama. It's dedicated to my mother and to all the mothers of the world. For every missing child, a mama is crying. A papa is crying his heart, tears apart. For every missing child, God is sending angels for every missing child. Just wait because I lost again. I'm so excited and I'm very, for every missing child, send a wish to a star. Do a prayer. Ask to find for every missing child a teardrop in every flower. A bird fly up to the sky. Search for every child that take away from his mom. Open your arms, open your heart when you see a child in the street. A mother will seek for him. Smile, because maybe you are the mother of this missing child.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations, Erkut. Congratulations, Antje. Congratulations, Pankhuri. Congratulations, Gloria. Congratulations, Altay, and the others that are going to follow. I am so honored, and I wish peace to every one of you. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
That's a good message. Yes, we need it.
We can carry on in Turkish translation. So Ruhsan İskifoğlu translated Eva's poem into Turkish. So please, Ruhsan.
Hello. I translated Eva's poem. I will read it now. Anne. Kayıp her çocuk için bir anne ağlıyor. Bir babanın kalbinden ayrı gözyaşı ağlıyor. Kayıp her çocuk için. Tanrı meleklerini koruma olarak gönderiyor. Kayıp her çocuk için yıldıza bir dilek gönder. Dua et. Bulmak iste. Kayıp her çocuk için her çiçekte bir gözyaşı damlası. Bir kuş gökyüzüne uçuyor. Her çocuğu aramak için onu annesinden al. Kollarını aç. Kalbini aç. Bir çocuk gördüğünde sokaklarda bir anne bulacak onu. Gülümse. Çünkü belki de annesi olacaksın bu kayıp çocuğun. Annem Petropollou'ya. I thank you.
So much. Thank you,
It's my pleasure.
Thank you. You are great. Love you. Thank you so much.
I thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Thank you to both of you. Okay, now we go back to Turkey and we are going to introduce Erkan Karakiraz. He is a poet, writer, critic, editor, and publisher. He's one of the founders of the open poetry movement. He was in the editorial board of the poetry review Jazz Cat, and he is one of the editors of Picaresque Publishing. His interdisciplinary video installations have been exhibited, screened at the events, festivals like International Istanbul Literature Festival, projects held by Exiled Writers Inc. with a Norwegian pen, and Venice Border Festival in Italy. He wrote and directed interdisciplinary short films, including performance art, elements for the open poetry movement. He produced, edited, and hosted some of the episodes of Turkish Sofa on Traffica Europe Radio. Very interesting. I come back to you later. I like this interdisciplinary curriculum. Okay, Erkut, could you introduce him in Turkish?
Merhaba Erkan, hoş geldin.
Hoş bulduk.
Erkan Karakiraz, şair, yazar, eleştirmen, editör ve yayıncıdır. Açık Şiir Hareketi'nin kurucu üyelerindendir. Caz Kedisi Şiir ve Şiir Kültürü Dergisi'nin yayın kurulunda yer alıp editörlüğünü üstlenmiştir. Picaresque Yayın Evi editörlerinden biridir. İsimler arası video enstalasyonları İTEF, Sürgün Yazarlar Birliği, Norveç Pen ve Venedik Borders festivallerinin düzenlendiği organizasyonlarda sergilenmiş ve gösterilmiştir. Açık şiir için performans sanatı unsurları barındıran disiplinler arası kısa filmler çekmiştir. Trafika Europe Radyo'nun Turkish Sofa programının bazı bölümlerinin yapımcılığını, editörlüğünü ve sunuculuğunu yapmıştır.
Teşekkür ediyorum.
Okay.
Şimdi şiirimi okumam gerekiyor herhalde. Yes, I'm
So
reading
I think
my
you go first, Antje,
in
English
Turkish
version.
Pardon me?
I'm reading the translation of Steps.
Oh,
The only
all
one I
right,
have
all right,
here.
all right. I will read the Turkish version first. Yeah. All right. I'm reading. This poem is coming from my first poetry collection. It is called as İç Geçit in Turkish, but maybe we can translate as tunnel, something like tunnel, but inner path is also possible for a translation. I'm reading the poem called Steps, Adımlar. Kırık çizgiler, iğneli çamda rüzgarın titrettiği, karnı ağrıyan kedinin çimene meyli, pati izleri külde, kurulu bir iletişimsizlik düzeneği. Ne ki yaşamla ilgili olup biten ne varsa öte yakada gelir beli. Uzun, yaralayıcı bir yokuş ömrün adımları. Ses geçirmeyen, içi görülmeyen düşüşler varlığa. Kuru bir P sesi yalnız, usulca dokunur ruha.
Very nice. Do you want to read the English version? You speak English so well.
Well, maybe I can read it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it okay with you?
Perfect.
Oh, it's okay. Yes, I found it. This translation belongs to Buğra Giritlioğlu. He translated this version, this English version of the poem. It is called Steps. Zigzags on the needle pine, shaken by the wind. The penchant for grass of the cat. With a stomachache, paw prints on ash, an established communication gap mechanism. Yet, all there is to life spills sperm on the shore beyond. A long, wounding slope life's steps. Soundproof interior unseen falls into existence. A dry P sound alone softly touches the soul. Yes, that's it. Thanks a lot.
Very nice. Thank you very much.
You.
It's a very special poem. So now we want to hear our great technical supporter, Don Krieger. He is also a poet, and he is a biomedical researcher who focuses his research on the electric activity within the brain. He is the author of the hybrid collection, Discovery, a 2020 Pushcart nominee, and a 2020 Creative Nonfiction Foundation Science as Story Fellow. His work has appeared in American Journal of Nursing Neurology, Seneca Review, the Asahi Shimbun, the Blue Nip, the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, and others, and has been translated into Farsi, Greek, and Turkish, and soon into German. So please, Don, we are waiting for your poem.
Thank you
Let's introduce Erkut first. Erkut? Erkut, you are unmuted. You're not unmuted, Erkut. No, still not. You have to unmute, Erkut.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Welcome, Don, again. Thank you so much for helping also the organization. So let me introduce him to our Turkish public. Don Krieger, beyin fonksiyonlarının elektrik aktiviteleri üzerine biyomedikal alanında araştırmacıdır. 2020 yılındaki Discovery, Keşif adlı karma yapıtıyla Pushcart ödülüne aday gösterildi. Ve aynı yıl Yaratıcı Bilim Kurgu Dışı Eserler Akademisi'nin üyesi oldu. Creative Nonfiction Foundation Science. Eserleri American Journal of Nursing Neurology, Seneca Review, The Asahi Shimbun, The Blue Nip, The Pittsburgh Post-Gazette ve başka dergilerde yayınlandı. Farsça, Türkçe ve Yunanca'ya çevrildi. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's such a privilege to be part of this and to make a small contribution. I'm so grateful that it happened. The Boston Tea Party, a defiant political protest, inspired America's revolution. In the beginning, there are no slaves. Anyone that sets foot here becomes free. Men and women are equal before the law. Article 19, Pinochet's Constitution. Our fathers conceived America in war and a sweet promise. All men are equal. 13 years later, at full term, with a crow quill dipped in iron gall ink, they aborted their oath to native people, women, slaves. Even Chile's dictator did better.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. Thank you.
I think this is a very interesting poem. I really like it, also translating it. So I will read it in Turkish, but I would say you'll see now behind of Dawn one picture. So this is also part of the poetry. So I will read the narrative part, but you'll see all the visual part of the poem behind of the Dawn. Amerikan devrimini etkileyen Boston Çay Partisi. Başlangıçta köleler yoktur. Buralara ayak basan herkes özgürleşir. Yasalardan önce kadınlar ve erkekler eşittir. 19. madde Pinochet'in birliği. Atalarımız Amerika'yı savaşa gebe bıraktı. Ve tatlı bir söze bütün erkekler eşittir. 13 yıl sonra tam gaz, karga tüyü batırılmış demir mazı mürekkebine. Onlar yerli halka, kadınlara, kölelere ettikleri yeminlerden vazgeçtiler. Şili'nin diktatörü Pinochet bile daha iyisini yaptı. Thank you very much. Teşekkürler.
Thank you very much, Don, for sharing this very important poem, Freedom Disappeared. Okay, now we go to Turkey to hear Ferhat Nitin. He was born in 94 in Sanliurfa and published his first book, Silence, in 2016. His poems were published in various literary magazines, and in 2017 he published the book Kana Gelin Sevgili with Ümek Durik, one of the professor of the University Science Education Department of Adıyaman. He graduated from this Adıyaman University, and his poems were published in magazines as Sinkan Station, Türk, Dili, and lots of others. After the introduction from Erkut, Betty Gilmore will read the English version after your Turkish version. Okay. Erkut,
Evet.
Can you
Ferhat
introduce?
hoş geldin.
Hoş bulduk, merhaba.
İyi akşamlar. Ferhat Nitin genç bir şair, aramızda katıldı bugün. Çok mutluyuz. 94 yılında Şanlıurfa'da doğdu. İlk öğrenimini burada tamamladı ve ilk kitabı Sessizce 2016 yılında yayınlandı. Şiirleri çeşitli edebiyat dergilerinde yayınlandı. 2017 yılında Adıyaman Üniversitesi Fen Bilimleri Eğitim Bölümü öğretim üyelerinden Ümit Duruk ile birlikte Cana Gelen Sevgili kitabını yayınladı. 2018 yılında Adıyaman Üniversitesi Türkçe Eğitim Bölümünden mezun oldu. Şiirleri Sincan İstasyonu, Gamlı Baykuş, Son Gemi, Türk Dili, Berfin Bahar, Eliz Edebiyat, Acemi, Şiir gibi dergilerde yayınlandı. 2020'de Karanlıkta Güneşler adlı kitabını yayınladı. Eserleri halen çeşitli edebiyat dergilerinde yayınlanmaktadır.
Teşekkürler.
So, please Betty.
Bekle zamanın ayrığında.
Betty, did we unmute? Okay.
Bekle zamanın ayrığında. Bela denizinde sulan gülleri. Hakikat güneşi veren elleri. Yanağının mızrabında iki büklüm ateş çemberleri. Kıyısında sevda örüntülerinin. Yazgısında hayaller, intihar rüzgarının yolcu etmekte bahaneleri. Semaya açılmamış suur çiçeklerinin güvertesinde gezintiler. Gözyaşlarının zavallı ölümsüzlüğüne eşlik şanson şarkıcılarından ezgiler. Nereye kazıldı ki eşsizliği sözlerin, mutlak umarsızlığa yelken açmış gözlerin. Ve solmakta hediyenin bitimi ta uzaklarından, çekip çıkarmak gerek seni zamanın tuzaklarından. Üstüne yürümeli hayalin sersemliği bu apansız tarafta, gece gündüze kör, kim seven, kim sevilen değil bu arafta. Teşekkür ederim.
Okay. Mapima. Wait where the time slit is, where the roses fade in turbulent sea, limbering hands under truthful sun, folded inside dimpled cheeks, love patterns, dreaming destiny of suicidal wind. Its farewells, excuses of chrysanthemum that opened out of sky, promenades on its petals, accompanying your eye drops, immortality. Lyric chansons of the singers, where once were the written uniqueness of words, in hopeless eyes, setting sail, fading away with the gifts of future. It is useless to search for you in the traps of your unfolded body.
Thank you very much to both of you, Ferhat, for your Turkish version. That was sounded very musical. And thank you, Betty Gilmore, for this wonderful interpretation.
For everything. Thank you.
It was really great. So now we have a very special guest, a honored guest from Italy, Manrico Murzi. He is known as a world traveling poet. He was born on the island Elba, but as a journalist, he traveled all over the Mediterranean to the Far East, and he wrote poetry during all these big journeys. So the poem is a piece of time that continues. So can you introduce your friend Erkut from Italy?
Manrico, welcome.
Hello.
Ciao.
Hello. Thank you very much.
So I introduce you in Turkish, and then you can read your poem in Italian. Then I will read in English version.
Yes. Thank you, Erkut. And again, my best wishes for your birthday.
Thank you.
And I embrace all participants in the great spirit of poetry. I'm very glad to join this splendid bunch of poets. I'm gonna read one of my poems from the Flies of Omar. I show you its cover. Let's see if I...
I think he is blocked. Erkut, could you in the meantime introduce in Turkish who he is?
Yes. Manrico Murzi, İtalyan şair, yazar, çevirmen. İtalya'nın UNESCO Kültür Elçisi ve Roma'daki Nama Vakfı'nın başkanı. 15'ten fazla kitabın yazarı. Margaret Yüsener, Necip Mahfuz, Osip Mandelstam gibi yazar ve şairlerin İtalyanca'ya tercüme etti. Son kitabı Le Mosche di Omero, Omero'nun Sineği, Rapel yayın evinden bu yıl yayınlandı. Evet, sanıyorum şu anda burada mı koptu gibi geldi ama is he here now?
I think he's blocked. I think maybe you read the English version.
Yes, I read the English version.
And if he comes back, he reads the Italian.
Evet. The pace of time continues. The pace of time continues through your hair, as it does through mine, while unrelenting whisper whitens the trees in the dark sky. A sunny cloud follows its path, as a glorious trumpet in the cantata of Bach, and filters the divine breath that gives on oblique ray. Through far away, we address each other, sounds of will moving inside our eyes, as ruffling with impulse of rain. In space depart. Far away parallels and distant countries, the mist of language doesn't count, nor do count the shadows of memories. Throbbing of the same ticking clock, our smiles meet where the restless unknown more and more veiled. Between sea and sea. Curling waves solemnly chatter, bowing heartfelt on our sorrows, and tears blend, dawns and sunsets. How much patience in our twilight yearn, and it holds us in compassion and gives crowns of knowledge. Beautiful poem,
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you very much. I think he didn't come back.
Well, what a luck! So we couldn't hear in Italian original. Let's wait. Maybe he enter later, so we can listen. Okay.
Exactly.
So
and now we have our other special guest. You already saw her, Betty Gilmore.
Yes.
She is a poet, blues singer, and she's from Oklahoma, but living for several years now in Italy. And she is part of Poetry is My Passion, which is the organization I'm also part of, which is promoting the Rucksack project, because you always need groups to work. Nobody can do a single thing. And she is a very, very big helper. She's translating lots of poets. And I want to say thank you in this occasion to all the translators we had this evening here. Without translating, all this coming closer to each other is not possible. So translating is the queen of our relationships. So Betty Gilmore, maybe Erkut will introduce you in Turkish and then you read your poem. Okay.
Yes. So welcome, Betty, again. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
So Betty Gilmore, Oklahoma'lı Amerikalı şair ve tanınmış bir blues sanatçısı. İtalya'da yaşamaktadır. Rucksack organizatörlerindendir. Politik ve caz şiirleri yazıyor. So can you hear me?
Okay, are you ready?
Yes. So
okay, first, happy birthday, Erkut.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're a June baby like me. And baby, but thank you very much also for asking for the jazz poems and the translations. I want to thank Halim in particular. His poem was beautiful. It was a real jazz poem. And I really loved it. I also want to say when I translate, but all of you who translate, I always wonder if you are fearful and emotional all at the same time. It's like shifting furniture around and not knowing exactly, whether you're doing right. So, but anyway, it's fun. You asked me for jazz poems, and I chose this poem, which was what I do combine poetry with music often as improvising. So sometimes the music comes to my mind and I am like, my culture is jazz. So this poem is called, thank you everybody. Thank you also for all the poetry and the language. It's inspiring to hear the music of all the languages. It's just wonderful. The poem is Arrival. I knew I was home when I felt that silence floating up over the palm trees, through all the lights twinkling like falling stars over the city, stopped dead in space over the cement panorama spreading toward the ocean. And the plane landed and the flight attendant said, I hope you enjoyed your flight. And I was alone again in LA.
So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So
Let
let
pity
me
it
read
wasn't going on, because then you would have started singing again. Thank you very much for all the help you did for this evening. So now we go. Yeah.
Erkut,
Turkish.
the translation.
Yes, I'm going to read Turkish translation.
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Varış. Evde olduğumu bildim. O sessizliği bıraktığımda, palmiye ağaçları üzerinden taşarken, bütün ışıkların içinden kayan yıldızlar gibi parıldayarak şehre doğru aktım. Boşlukta ölü öylece durdu kaldı. Bir çimento panoraması üstünde, okyanusun üzerine dağılarak ve uçak yere indi. Ve uçuş görevlisi dedi ki, umarım uçuştan memnun kaldınız. Ve yine yalnızdım Los Angeles'ta.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Betty. And I think now Manrico is back.
Yes,
So,
I'm back.
Manrico,
Great.
I have recited your beautiful poem in English. So everybody listen your poem in English. Now you can read in Italian. Please.
Yes, all right. I read my Italian poem. Il passo del tempo continua. Nei tuoi capelli il tempo passeggia come nei miei, pronunciando la voce che li imbianca. Piena di sole la nuvola cammina, cantata di Bach, filtro dei soffi che danno luce obliqua. Siamo lontani, ci parliamo con i suoni del vento che traballa dentro agli occhi, refolo in polla di acqua piovana, divisi nello spazio, lontani i paralleli e lontani i paesi, nuvolaglia di lingue e nebbia di memoria non ci separano. Palpitiamo nello stesso ticchettio di un orologio e i nostri sorrisi si incontrano dove l'ignoto senza riposo sempre più si vela. Tra mare e mare in arriccio di onde, cime che fanno chiacchiera solenne. Sulle pene si chinano accorate, i nostri pianti si fondono tra stella e stella e l'esitazione ascolta voci persuadenti che mescolano insieme albe e tramonti. Quanta pazienza nella nostra brama di crepuscolo. L'attesa ci tiene in abbraccio di compassione, ci mette in capo corone di conoscenza.
Bravissimo. Grazie Manrico.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we come to our birthday child, Erkut.
Okay.
He is not just the organizer of this evening, but he is a poet, actor, visual artist, editor, and translator. And he is member of the Turkish and Italian PEN, working with the WIPC, Writers in Prison Committee. And he is one of the founder of the Open Poetry Movement, which is, as we heard, a very important movement. And we had the other poet reciting in this very interesting style. Erkut made very interesting interviews with Orhan Pamuk, with Joyce Carol Oates, Adonis, with Milo De Angelis in Italy, and others, which were published in international magazines. He won the Italian Ministry of Culture Translation Award in 2019, and the Messina Città d'Arte and Salvatore Quasimodo Paci Poetry Awards. So, Erkut, please share a poem with us. Or
Thank
maybe
you
you
so
introduce
much.
yourself in Turkish, but I think the Turkish people all know you.
Thank you. So yeah, I think we don't need to introduce maybe in Turkish, I don't know, but I read first my poem, or maybe Neslihan can introduce shortly in Turkish. Neslihan, can you?
Can you hear me? Erkut?
Yes.
Yes. Tamam.
No,
Erkut duyuyorsun değil mi?
Well,
Geliyor mu?
I don't know if it comes. Your voice is. Can you hear the Neslihan voice?
Yes, but
Okay.
she's upside. She's turned around. She's on her. The picture is
Okay.
flipped.
Okay. Evet, döndür. Okay.
Okay.
Echo.
Evet, okuyorum Erkut.
Tamam, çok kısa. Lütfen.
Tamam, Erkut Tokman'ın özgeçmişini okumak istiyorum. 1971'de İstanbul'da doğdu. İstanbul Teknik Üniversitesi Elektrik Mühendisliği bölümünü bitirdi. Londra'ya giderek şiir ve oyunculuk üzerine sanat eğitimi aldı. Bükreş'te bir Mindock'da çalışıp yaşadı. Eserleri, şiir...
The sound is not good. The sound, the sound is bad. Is it just for me?
The sound is bad. You should do the same thing as
Yes.
before.
So
Neslihan.
let's skip. So as you said.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Is it okay?
No, there's the echo. I think Erkut.
Yeah,
go
that's
on
okay.
and-
So we can. That's enough representation. So let's go on for the poetry. Thank you, Neslihan. So I read my poem in Turkish. Sahibini bekleyen köpek. Bir ağaç da yalnızlaşır, yapraklarını döktüğünde, dalları çırılçıplak. Bir insan da sevgisiz ya da yalansızken, içi dışı bir. Ya bir toplum yalnızlaşmışsa, yalanla, talanla, ihanetle, içi dışına karışmış da, düğüm düğüm bağlanmışsa, her köşe başında bir direğe, sahibini bekleyen bir köpek gibi. Thank you.
You read also the translation?
Translation. So I thought you were gonna read. So do you have it?
No.
I hope.
No. I have it.
Okay.
An old guest. Excuse me.
Okay.
Embodying the mute language, dark matter merging the universe, diffusing into infinite space between you and me. A new utopia hidden therein dust cloud. A dream got pregnant, aging within our souls, bounded by milestones of the ages. Since incomplete hypothesis based on an equation of existence, An arrow sprung from the bow targeted our hearts. Inescapable metaplasma of revolution, yet it has a grievance among the worlds that we imagine. In the end, once again, you have invited in the one knocked at humanity's door, is the oldest guest, solitude, a lost wind in the geography of your mind, a memory scorched by the heat of forgetfulness called life, which you can't get away from the flames of soul within. Thank you very much, Erkut.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday.
So we have the last guest, another young poet, no, from Cyprus.
Yes. Yes, the last guest from Cyprus is Ruhsan İskifoğlu. She graduated from the Department of Turkish Language and Literature at the Eastern Mediterranean University, and she gave Ottoman Turkish lessons. I don't know if this is a different language than the normal Turkish you speak, but it sounds interesting. Her poems were published in many magazines, and in 2020 she was the guest editor of the Contemporary Turkish Poet File for the October-November issue of Advertime Speaks literary magazine we had before the editor with us. Her first book, Götzlemici Konuk, Yatsili Kadir, I can't pronounce this. She has 3 books already published. So please, Erkut, can you introduce in Turkish?
Sure. Ruhsan, hoş geldin. İyi akşamlar.
Hoş bulduk. İyi akşamlar. İyi akşamlar. Merhaba.
Ruhsan İskifoğlu 2005 yılında Doğu Akdeniz Üniversitesi Fen Edebiyat Fakültesi Türk Dili ve Edebiyatı bölümünden mezun oldu. 2007 yılında Doğu Akdeniz Üniversitesi Eğitim Fakültesi'nde yüksek lisansını tamamladı. 2013-2015 yılları arasında Osmanlı Türkçesi dersleri verdi. 2013-2016 yılları arasında Kıbrıs İskele'de gerçekleşen Uluslararası İskele Şiir Festivali'nin tüm çeviri işlerini yürüttü. 2020 yılında Advertiam Speaks Literary dergisinin Çağdaş Türk Şairleri dosyasında konuk editörlük yaptı. 2020-2021 akademik çalışmalarına devam ediyor, çeviriler yapıyor ve modern edebiyat dersleri veriyor. 3 tane şiir kitabı var. Hoş geldin.
Merhaba. Greetings from Cyprus. Thank you everyone to being here. I am very happy to be with great poets tonight, and I am honored to attend the event. Thank you. And my poem. Taşınma. Bahçe makasıyla sıktım başıma ektiğim bitkileri. Boğazımı sığdırdığım katlanan dallar, sakin hava, açığa çıkardım iyice. Bir zebra saldırı başlatana kadar, kauçuk deri, keder ve saygınlık. Yakın mesafede çizgili krizantem sancısı, inatlaştığımız çaba. Bu gerçeklik, genişleyen delilik arasında sıkışmak, zorlu tarifi fiillerin. Ama hangi ziyaret yüzün? Ani ve pas çınlaması duyarlılık. Düşünce, çim halini alır az ötede. Kuruyan gürültü oturur suyun bileklerinde. Teşekkürler.
Thank you very much.
And also I would like to thank dear Betty Gilmore and Erkut Tokman and Antje for translation of my poem. I am honored. Thank you.
So I think Betty will read now English version to us.
Betty, are you there?
I like to turn off. I'm smoking. split. The plants pinched with pruning shears planted in my head, the folding branches that wrap around my throat. Well exposed, the weather calm, until a zebra waits to attack, and rubbered leather, sadness and prestige, the pain of scratched chrysanthemums, equally distance, our stubborn struggle. This is expanding craziness, facts getting stuck in the hard description of verbs, but the superficial journey, ringing of sensitivity, instantly takes the rusty shape of an idea, the shape of the grass over there, a dry noise that settles down on the wrists of water.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
A beautiful
So,
poem.
Antje, I want to have my small birthday cake here.
Yes.
So I just
now we
want
should
to bluff,
sing.
bluff it.
Everybody in his language will
Yeah,
sing happy
I'm going to bluff it.
birthday.
Go.
Happy
What's the
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank you so much
birthday.
for everybody.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you.
Let me say a couple of words. It's a privilege to celebrate my birthday here with wonderful friends and we say in dost in Turkish, and the wonderful poets all together. I think that this is the most beautiful birthday party I have had. Thank you all friends. Erkan,
another candle.
Manrico, Altay, Iskra,
Another candle.
Becky, thank you so much. So it was a wonderful, we had some mistakes, but it's okay. So that is actually my first Zoom organization. And I think
I
if
did
the
the
Antje
mistakes.
and
It's
the
my
Dawn
11th
wasn't here,
Zoom.
it would be worse and worse. So that, thank you so much.
Yes, I want to thank you, Erkut. The mistakes I did, and I did already 11 rucksack meetings, but it's every time a very big chaos because there's lots of preparation in these meetings.
Yes,
and I want to thank all these poets, wonderful poets that read Pankhuri Sinha from India, Halim Yazıcı from Turkey, Gloria Mindock from the USA, Altay Ömer Erdoğan from Turkey, Iskra Peneva from Serbia, Neslihan Yalman from Turkey, Eva Petropoylou from Greece, Erkan Karakiraz from Turkey, Donald Krieger, our technical support from the USA, Ferhat Nitin from Turkey, Manrico, Murzi from Italy, Erkut Tokman from Turkey, Ruhsan, Iskifoğlu from Cyprus, and Betty Gilmore from the USA living in Italy. And thank you, Indran, for being with us. And thank you for all the guests that are here following us. It was a wonderful evening. We had really lots of languages, different languages, wonderful poems, and very different views on the world. Thank you very much to everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was
Bravo,
beautiful.
bravo, Paul. Thank you. Thank you.
Angie,